All right, so we took a little detour yesterday with the Avadhuta Gita, and some wondered if that had anything to do with the Song of the Sannyasin and why it was kind of blipped into the middle there. And really, it was just part of my interest, part of what I was looking at. But as I was kind of contemplating an answer, I was really kind of struck with the notion that you can't really have a mature renunciation without a certain level of discernment as far as an understanding of the nature of things and your relationship to things, in order to be able to let go of things in a natural way, in a way that is the result of your inner choice, that it's not actually a resistance of your own desire completely. Certainly that will be there at the beginning because confusion is there, delusion is there. But as that delusion is cured through discernment, things fall away in a more natural way, and it doesn't quite take the violent renunciation that we assume or that we're accustomed to because we think we really want these things. And by knowing their nature and by learning and touching our own nature, it doesn't become such a violent renunciation toward things, because we realize that these things are not giving us what we want, that they are not a source of a genuine, lasting pleasure or joy or bliss within. So it does fit with the Song of the Sannyasin, and it is helpful for letting go, for moving on in your life to a higher plane, to a higher understanding, a higher truth from a lower truth, as Swamiji would say. And tonight he talks more about that kind of thing. He says, let darkness go. What is darkness? Darkness is your ignorance about the nature of things, your confusion about who you are, not knowing yourself to be pure love, and limiting yourself because of the little compartment of mind that you've inhabited for so long. The will-o'-the-wisp that leads with blinking light to pile more gloom on gloom. A will-o'-the-wisp, that's a luminescent bacteria that's found in swamps that gives, a slight flash of a light, much like a firefly. And so if you go chasing after those things, you just go deeper into the swamp of life. If you chase your desires, the physical desires, even the mental desires in this world, you just go deeper and deeper into confusion. You become more and more particular in what you need and what you want. And you have to search harder to find it and to grasp it. And at the same time, your body's losing its energy, losing its attractiveness, losing all of the faculties that were necessary for getting what you wanted and holding on to what you wanted. And you're caught in a cycle of needing more and more and of a finer and finer and more particular quality. It leads to the end, and he's saying it's just a will-o'-the-wisp. It's rotting bacteria in a swamp. There is no light there. There is nothing there for you as a human being, as the divine manifestation. He says, this thirst for life, forever quench. The life in the sense and the life of activity and action of the body and mind, that you are life itself, that it is not this quality of change that is giving you what you need. It's this peaceful sense of being that's always blissful and always amazing and always fulfilling and even slightly overwhelming when it's contemplated and seen. He says it drags from birth to death and from death to birth the soul. You're being led by the nose. You've got a hook in the nose, as it were. You're being taught not to take the bait, but to be free, to be a fish that doesn't get caught. So you can swim in that ocean of bliss like Sri Ramakrishna talked about, and not be dependent upon changing conditional things for your satisfaction, for your sense of self, for your sense of wholeness, for your self-respect, for your fulfillment in life. He conquers all who conquers self. Know this and never yield. Sannyasin bold, say Om, Tat Sat Om. So it's a matter of reining in these assumptions about this mirage that we're experiencing in this world. You know, look at the love that is constant, that is behind the world. The world is that mirror. It's a reflection of your real nature, and anything that you desire outside of yourself, you are looking in a mirror and desiring the reflection in the mirror. And as you know, a mirror is just a reflection of you. You're not going to get anything from it. If you like what you see in the mirror and you attempt to grab it, or attempt to be intimate with it, or attempt to get something from it, you just run into a cold piece of glass. And he says, if you discern life, you will find that that's the nature of desire. You know, you get a moment's fulfillment, but the desire is back the very next moment, and sometimes more intensely, with more requirements and a narrower window for what will be fulfilling. So pay attention to these things and grow as a human being. Develop as a spiritual person that love that is available within you. The world is in desperate need. The world's in desperate need for us to get rid of our selfishness, for us to open our hearts, and for us to serve one another with this endless, bottomless source of caring, of love, of intelligence that is our very nature.